It all started with two college students. Larry Page and Sergey Brin were just like any other college student except for one thing. They had a crazy idea that would change the world forever. In 1996, these two Stanford University students began working on a research project that they hoped would make finding information online much easier. In fact, they wanted to organize all the information in the world so that anyone with an internet connection could find anything they wanted in a matter of seconds. This may sound pretty simple, but at the time, this was unheard of. The internet was huge and growing every day, but it was mostly just a giant pile of documents that were impossible to search through. Larry and Sergey thought they could do better. Larry was a computer science major, and he'd always been interested in artificial intelligence. He believed that computers should be able to understand natural language, which would make them much more powerful and useful. Meanwhile, Sergey was studying aeronautics and astronautics. He was interested in data mining, which is the process of discovering patterns in large amounts of data. Together, Larry and Sergey had the perfect combination of skills to take on this project. After months of work, they created something that was unlike anything else on the internet. It was a search engine that used artificial intelligence to understand natural language. Users could type in any word or phrase, and their search engine would return the most relevant results from across the web. They called it Google, but their work wasn't over yet. They needed a way to measure how relevant each web page was to a particular query. So they developed a new algorithm that took into account things like how often a page was cited by other pages, how many backlinks it had, and how similar the content was to other pages that had been indexed. They called this algorithm PageRank after Larry, and it quickly became the backbone of Google. As the years went on, Google grew and evolved alongside the internet. As more and more people began using Google, Larry and Sergey were able to collect even more data, which made their algorithm even more accurate. And as their algorithm became more accurate, more people started using Google. It was a virtuous cycle that has continued to this day. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were plenty of times when Larry and Sergey had to make tough decisions about how to grow the company and how to keep Google ahead of its competitors. But they always managed to make the right call, which is why today, Google is the most popular search engine in the world. In fact, Google is so popular that most people don't even realize that there are other search engines out there. They just type in Google it without thinking twice. And when they do, they're greeted with the familiar Google logo and the promise of an answer to whatever question they've searched for. But behind the scenes, there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. In fact, every time you do a Google search, you're interacting with a vast network of computers that are located all over the world. These computers are constantly crawling the web looking for new content to index. And once they find it, they send it back to Google headquarters where it's added to the database. All of this happens in milliseconds, which is why you're able to get your results so quickly. But it's not just the speed of Google that makes it so popular. It's also the accuracy of the results. When you do a search on Google, you can be confident that you're going to get the most relevant results possible. That's because Google uses a sophisticated algorithm to rank the results. This algorithm takes into account things like how popular a website is, how trustworthy it is, and how well it matches your search query. So if you're looking for information on a very specific topic, you can be sure that Google will give you the best results possible. But Google isn't just a search engine anymore. It's a verb. We all know the word Google to mean search the internet. And it's so ingrained in our culture that most people don't even think about it. But we should. When Larry and Sergey created Google, they had no idea how popular it would become. They were just two college students with a crazy idea. But their creation has changed the way we live, work, and play. We use Google every day to find information, communicate with friends, and even learn new skills. It's become such an important part of our lives that we often take it for granted. Google has also changed the way businesses operate. It's made it easier than ever to connect with customers, find suppliers, and get feedback from around the world. Google has had such a profound impact on the world that it's been compared to the invention of the printing press. Just like the printing press, Google has made information more accessible to everyone. It's also given us the ability to communicate with each other like never before. But it's not all good news. Like any powerful tool, Google can be used for good or evil. Some people use it to spread fake news and propaganda. Others use it to stalk their exes or harass strangers. There's even a whole industry of people who try to game the system and manipulate Google's search results. But despite these problems, Google is still one of the most valuable companies in the world. That's because it's created products that billions of people use every day. It's also created a culture of innovation that has changed the way we all think about technology. When Larry and Sergey created Google, they didn't just want to make a search engine. They wanted to make something that would change the world. They did just that. They created a tool that has helped us learn new things, connect with old friends, and discover amazing new places. They gave us the ability to ask any question we want and get an answer in a matter of seconds. They created a world where knowledge is power and information is free. But it hasn't been easy. There have been times when Google has been threatened by bigger, more powerful companies. There have been times when Google has had to fight for its very survival. But through it all, Google has come out stronger and more innovative than ever before. Today, Google is more than just a search engine. It's a verb. It's a way of life. It's the brain of the planet. And it all started with 2 college students and a crazy idea. Now let's talk about the incredible rise of another tech giant, Amazon. Jeff Bezos had a vision to create a retail giant that would offer the best prices and the most convenient shopping experience in the world. And he did just that. Today, Amazon is the largest online retailer in the world, and it's also one of the most valuable companies in history. But Jeff's story wasn't easy. He faced countless obstacles and setbacks, but he never gave up on his vision. In fact, Jeff's story is an inspiration to us all. It shows us that we can achieve anything if we set our minds to it. And if you want to learn more about how Amazon changed the world, then click on this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Google is a verb now. You could say Google something. It means you're searching the internet for information on that topic. For example, you might say, Google, what's the capital of France? Or Google, how do I fix a leaky faucet? Or Google is so popular that most people don't even realize that there are other search engines out there. In fact, Google is the most popular search engine in the world. Every day, billions of people use Google to find information, communicate with friends, and even learn new skills. When you type something into the Google search bar, it sends a signal to servers all over the world. These servers are constantly crawling the web looking for new content to index. Once they find it, they send it back to Google headquarters, where it's added to the database. This happens in milliseconds, which is why you're able to get your results so quickly. But it's not just the speed of Google that makes it so popular, it's also the accuracy of the results. Google uses a sophisticated algorithm to rank the results. This algorithm takes into account things like how popular a website is, how trustworthy it is, and how well it matches your search query. So if you're looking for information on a very specific topic, you can be sure that Google will give you the best results possible. Of course, Google isn't perfect. Sometimes the algorithm can be fooled by spammers or hackers, and sometimes the results are just plain wrong. But overall, Google does an amazing job of providing us with the information we need to find. Google has changed the way we live, work, and play. It's given us the ability to connect with people all over the world and learn new things in a matter of seconds. It's also given businesses the ability to reach new customers and expand their reach like never before. We should thank Larry and Sergey for creating this amazing tool. They didn't just create a search engine, they created a verb, a way of life, the brain of the planet. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you never miss an upload. I'll see you in the next video.